Guys, welcome. Welcome back to Bob and Mr.D. Today we have something really special. Well, it's always very special, but today is extra special. Hey Bob, what do you think?
I think it's actually extra special.
Yeah. We have the winner of the Moto Foto prize, Morgan Ballantyne. Welcome, Morgan.
Hi guys, thank you for my intro. You guys have me smiling, blushing, feeling really good about myself. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Do you remember the Moto Foto, Bob?
Yes, I do, and I actually have a lot of questions to ask regards to that.
So, just to get back to the event was basically a brilliant ride on motorcycles through Johannesburg with multiple stops, and for enthusiasts of motorbikes and cameras, which is like something we all love.
Yeah.
And we stopped along the way, we took photos. It didn't have to be about motorcycles or anything. It could be anything that catches your eye or that you want to create an image with. And the prize was an Insta360, what was it called? The
Ace Pro.
Ace Pro. And here we have our winner, and we're going to show you the image on screen right now. So Morgan, first question. What made you see that specific scene on the day?
What a question. I think if you are into photography, and you guys obviously know, when you've got a winner. Does that make sense? Like, you kind of go around, you're shooting. I personally love to shoot like architecture and high contrasty stuff. So there was a lot of cool, we were at 44 Stanley for that shot. And there was a lot of cool like lighting and angles and staircases and like foliage and whatnot, but the hallway to me had a lot of depth, which I really appreciated, and I thought, okay, that could be cool. And then by coincidence, as I walked past, there was a lady sweeping, and I just felt like there was a story then to tell there, but the very moody lighting, very cool color play in it as well. They had like these yellow, like double painted hallways and whatnot, and I felt like that told a story, which I think was an important part of like winning, perhaps, if that makes sense.
100%, yeah. Always when I look at an image, I look for three things, and that photo had all three things. It also stood apart from all of the other photos that were submitted by far. When we looked, well, personally, when I looked through all of them, there were some brilliant photos, but that one just stood apart, and I didn't even hesitate.
I really appreciate that. I must be honest, when I took it, something in me thought that's the one. Like anything else I take today is for fun. But there's something where the composition or whatever kind of just snaps together. You know that feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like you can shoot 1,000 of the same thing, and then suddenly they move correctly, a subject moves correctly, or a light happens, or something lines up, and you kind of just know. So yeah, I appreciate that very much. I'm flabbergasted and so complimented, and I think the prize is just so massive. You guys were talking earlier about if you have motorbikes and photography in common, and I feel like that Instagram ad that was put out couldn't have been more specific to me. Photography and motorcycles. I was like, well, I've got plans for Saturday then.
So in other words, you're looking forward to the next one?
I will be the first one there, the last one to go. I'll bring 1,000 friends.
I kind of think it's unfair. I feel like she'll win again.
Ooh. Can we organize a motorbike with a sidecar?
Oh.
Actually, for me, since I don't have a bike,
Okay.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Can you ride a bike?
I can't.
We need to teach you, because there's some events we need to go on with bikes that are coming up.
But also, I was thinking, the next one, instead of her being part of the people competing, rather she be the host.
Ooh.
And we come...
Well, you can't compete because now you're a pro.
Exactly.
You have to be,
Okay, fair
you
enough.
have to be part of the judges next time.
Oh, I love that. That would be
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
Yes, I love that idea. I think, like, an important note, obviously, is the photography in the competition was a great part of the day, and, like, that sense of competition between people and a little bit of camaraderie is great. But I think the whole point of the day, for me predominantly, was also to find people to ride with in Johannesburg. And then having the photography part of it as, like, an extra interest that draws people, you know, the two kind of interests that intersect, was what mattered. So even if I can't compete photography-wise, I still get my own snaps, you know what I mean? But also it's that riding community, which if you ride, you get it. And that was an important part of the day for me as well.
Kind of feel left out. Just
I'm
right
so
off you
sorry.
said
We
that.
can teach you. We can teach you. Get on a bike.
Yes.
We'll have a photography professional but riding beginner day instead.
In fact, that should be our mission, to
Yes,
bring
love
more
that.
people into this what
Absolutely.
what our passions are.
Absolutely. I also, obviously, it's really cool that as a woman, you know, I got on the bike and I did the thing and then I won the thing, which was just the coolest moment ever. But there were other girls that rode as well. And it's not that it's like this rare unicorn or whatever, but it is a bit more difficult to kind of find girls to ride with. And there were other girls there, and they also, I think, came very close to winning and this and that. So now I've got this like community, and some of them are pros, and some of them don't have their licenses yet, and they just have their learners and this and that. So please come and get on a bike. If us shorties can do it, you can do it too. I promise.
No, you can definitely do it. And what I think also made that kind of event special is we were not limited in one area. If you do a photo walk, it's a walk.
Yes,
You can't do more than
absolutely.
5, 6, 7 Ks
Yes,
for normal people.
yes, absolutely.
We had multiple locations, right to the next one. Wow, new opportunities. And I think that worked on the day. What do you think?
Multifaceted in that, actually. So I'm not a Johannesburg native. So we moved up from Cape Town, originally from Bloem though. So kind of been all over the country. But in Cape Town, it's easy. You know, you get on, you go to the Cedarburg, you go to, you know, it's an easy riding route to find something worth photographing, if you want to put it that way. So the Josie ride, the Moto Foto, what was nice is I got to explore Johannesburg, which, by the way, I've fallen completely in love with. So don't tell the Cape Townians, but it is better in Joburg.
I tend to agree with that.
No, it is. It is. I've fallen head over
I just
heels.
came back from Cape Town
Yes.
and I couldn't wait to come back.
No, honestly, I came here, a little bit of a side quest, but I came here with the intent of like with COVID and to be with my folks and whatever. And I was like, as soon as it ends, I'm going to go back. Who can live in Joburg? Blah, 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 blah. And I've completely fallen in love. I don't think I'll ever move back. Joburg, the more you scratch, the more you find.
Yeah.
The Moto Foto is iconically that. It is exploring Joburg and getting to know other people, but also you've got the nature, you've got the cityscape, you've got the people, you've got the weirdest things happening. You know, you've got the guys on the recycled dudes who do the thing. Then you've got like something happening with cops. Then we had people pull up on scooters, like vintage scooters that day, and that's just so
All
Joburg.
on the same day.
That is just so Joburg. And then cinema, and then
We didn't need image stabilization because of the wind. There's no wind.
yeah, there's no wind. There's no wind. And also we have all the seasons. I think the jacarandas were just blooming that time as well.
Good time of year.
So just cool. And also, from a motorcycle point of view, I come from dirt and then went to road, right? So riding dirt, I've always said, is a lot safer because it's you and the bike, right? And then like a big open space. But once you start getting onto like road stuff, that's really where it becomes dangerous because there's other cars and there's traffic lights and stop and this and whatever. So for me, being able to explore Joburg in a group of motorcyclists and we have the same kind of end goal, that kind of slow pace photography is safer, it's funner, it's like the Moto Foto. It's weird how big of a fan I was about it. I was literally like, this is the perfect, can we please do one every single Saturday? So yeah, even if you don't ride a bike, I think it's worth getting on the back of a bike with someone or using that as an excuse to get into it as well, for sure.
So I actually have a question, right? Based on the picture that you took and the winning picture. What is it that you wanted people to notice about that picture specifically?
Oh, big question. I don't think it's fair to say what I wanted people to notice. I don't see photography in that way. I think you kind of go into taking photos with what you think it means and what's important to you. But I think what's beautiful about photography and art is not over-explaining yourself and having people find whatever they want to find in the photo. So what would be more interesting for me is to know, what did you get out of the picture? You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, if I had to explain it, the color was just great, and then the accidental lighting was just great, and it kind of set the scene of like this early morning, opening up shop, kind of coffee shop vibe, which I appreciated, and then obviously having just one main subject there, kind of not looking at camera, very natural, unposed. Again, I appreciate it, but it's more interesting for me to hear, why did you like it? What did you get from it? So
personally, what I saw in there, something. The word that comes to mind, overlooked. That person was usually overlooked. Now we all got to see her. That's part of her day. And also the depth that you put into that photo, that corridor behind with the lighting and the way it lit her from behind. I mean, it all works.
I appreciate
so well.
that. I really appreciate that. And I agree with you. I think what was cool about that is that it's this arbitrary moment where you could be rushing past it on an average day and you're trying to take photos of like the thing in bloom or like the whatever, but I think that's exactly the beauty of still photography. capture the thing you see every day beautifully, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
My
thank you for that.
question to you is, what equipment did you use to do that shot?
So, much like motorcycles, when it comes to cameras or motorcycles, anything Japanese is what I'm going to go for. So, I shoot on a Sony a7 III, and I'm a Canon girl at heart as well. So, that day I had my Sony there. I actually also did have my Canon there as well, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I had my Sony there, so it's a7 III. I used my zoom lens for that shot, which was the 24 to 105. And I must have been, I know.
That is such a cheat code, hey?
Why?
That's a great lens.
I love that lens to death. I love that lens to death, especially on the motorcycle. I wasn't sure about putting a prime on because, you know, we didn't get the locations beforehand. So you don't know if it's going to be like landscape or this or that. So I decided to go with the zoom lens, and then I had an ND2 on it as well to try and pump a little bit more of that blur into the background as well. Yeah, so that was me.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Thanks.
What other parts of the day were highlights for you?
Ooh, I have never been to the lookout point that we went to. There was, I think, the Joburg Tower in the background.
Monroe
Yes.
Drive, yeah.
Didn't know that existed.
Is it the one in Houghton?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm not super familiar with that side of town. I'm more of a Joburg Norther, and that outlook point had like this old architecture and a viewpoint and curves
And that's where all the scooter people came and
exactly.
colors.
Exactly. And you know, again, what I love about Joburg is they stop and they talk and they're like, hey, you guys are on two wheels. We're also on two wheels. I don't know you, but like now we're friends. And there's a big WhatsApp group. And yeah, I think
That's
that
so
was
nice, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Botanical Gardens is always a vibe. Familiar with it though. I did get a great shot there that I personally fell in love with, which I titled Tiny World, which I'm sure I'll give to you guys as well, which was like a macro shot of the bark. A lot of texture, a lot of yummy, nibbly bits to kind of chew on with your eyes. So I think that was pretty cool. But
I love the way the colors worked out at the Botanical Gardens parking lot. I didn't expect it to be so beautiful at that time of day.
Yes, absolutely stunning, yeah. I used a special shot there. I'm not even sure if I submitted that, but I had a really cool special filter that I used that I actually bought at Cameras as well, which was like a gradient orange, like not even an ND, literally one of those gradient orange filters, and it's so dramatic.
Yeah, and
and
made those
loud.
leaves pop.
Yes, and also just completely making a bold statement, which I'm so here for. Any fun, quirky photography gadget, that's me. Yeah, fully.
Okay,
Another. Sorry, Mr.
Go ahead.
One thing, like, since you're speaking about this picture, if you had to choose or had to resubmit a picture, which one would you go for?
Not allowed to, not of the ones that I did do.
Not the ones that you submitted already, but a different one. That one specific one that you look and you're like, wow, I love this.
in other words, did you have a backup?
I did.
Okay.
I did. It's of the Joburg Tower. There was so much contention between everyone, because I showed a million people the pictures. And I was like, which one? But everyone said the one that won. And I also, like I said, when you capture it, there's just something in you that knows. But there's one of the Joburg Tower that I took with that heavy gradient orange filter. I loved it personally. I think it would look great on large scale print, which is another thing about the Moto Foto that I appreciated is all of the photos got printed out. And if you are into photography at all and you've never printed one of your images, you are missing out largely, because seeing a photo like on print, especially on large scale, is just so different and impactful. So to answer your question, my favorite one would be the Joburg Tower, but as like a wallpaper in like a hotel or, you know, because it looks just disgusting in like the most. I think one of my photography friends was like, listen, this post-production is just a bit much. And I was like, it wasn't post.
Yeah.
It was this filter.
It's real.
So it was just the filter, no
Just
edit,
the filter.
nothing.
No, nothing, no. Obviously a little bit of color correction here and there, but no.
But you see how it's become, if a photo pops and stands out and is brilliant, people are, it's AI.
Yes.
And it's not as actually.
Absolutely.
You know, they don't see brilliance anymore. They think it must be AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't like what you did in post-production. I was like, brother, this is not at all post. It's very dramatic, very loud filter, which I got on sale and was left in like a dusty box. And it's my favorite thing ever.
There are treasures here.
I know.
Every
Hidden
time
gems,
at
actually,
Cameras,
a lot.
when I come here, I always find one or two things.
I know.
It's dangerous.
My husband does never come with me to the shop because he knows I'm going into the back. I'm going into the, and I'm like, I'm digging. I've literally got so many, like we've got a group of photographer friends. I'm like, dude, look at this lens. Dude, look at, so yeah, same person.
While we're on that, right? We were speaking off camera
Yeah.
about how you should film, video, and pictures.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So in my daytime, big people, real world job, I am a cinematographer, or at least rather my formal training is in cinematography. I do though run my own production company based on like freelancer teams and things where we shoot a lot of content for businesses and brands and influencers and whatever have you. And right, okay, so my background is in video, and as much as I love shooting film, it did get a little trendy at one stage, and I was like, these people know nothing. Video is also a passion of mine. So I have like 2 old 8mm proper video cameras that we found at like a soek en krap garage sale, you know, back of a boot somewhere market. Bought it, fixed it up firstly because there were a lot of things wrong with it, needed like special batteries, needed all sorts of things, and I have shot almost the entire film. I shot a part of my wedding day on it, I've shot international trips on it, I've shot all sorts of things on it, but I haven't developed the video film yet. However, I also thrifted an old projector, 8mm film projector, fixed it, it's working.
Wow.
So what I then have done is I now thrift 8mm spools of film wherever I go. I literally have a stack like this. And we've got a joke between our friend group. So what we do is we go, is it going to be murder? Is it going to be home video? Or is it going to be something like suspicious, you know?
Something suspicious.
Yeah, something suspicious. So we pop the film on, we have it running, and like that sound, the, you know, through the wheels,
Yeah.
the smell of it as well, because it obviously heats up, it generates a smell. So I literally just project it onto the back of my office door, and we watch it. Most of it's been Kruger National footage from like the 1950s, which is just like such a mind warp.
Extinct animals running.
I'm telling you, and like, but the cars and the mustaches and the short shorts and the, so yeah, to answer your question, film on video fascinates me as much as it does with stills.
To me, that's true art when
Yes.
it comes to the moving image.
Absolutely. And I mean, I have everything. I've got the thing that you cut the film with and you paste it with. I've got
Brilliant.
the projector. I've now had to like learn. I even have the original manual, which I'll send you guys a photo of, because just the design of the manuals those days was artistic.
Yes,
You know,
intentional.
the typography that they use, the coloring that they use. It's the smell even to me. And it's heavy, eh? Like that's like a door stopper proper. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things to show someone if I've had like a glass of wine or two. I'm like, you want to come see my film project?
Back in those days, you couldn't YouTube
No,
and find,
no,
how do you use this thing?
Yeah.
So the manual was this thick and you had to read it.
Yeah. But I love reading manuals. Again, to get back to motorcycles and stuff, like a big complaint that people have with automobiles, cars, motorcycles is that nothing comes with a manual nowadays. They say if something's broken, you've got to take it in. But all this stuff, cameras, cars, motorcycles, came with manuals. How do we change your oil filter? How do you this? How do you that? And I love working on my own bikes, love working on my own cameras, love working on my own video stuff. So yeah, I'm pro that. I wanted to say something now about the...
Quick question. Have you ever shot on a Betacam?
No, but I know the brand. I love the, from a graphic design point of view, the logo, the CI. Yes.
Big camera.
Yes,
You
yes.
needed a shoulder for that thing.
That's right.
What is
yeah.
a Betacam?
It's one of the professional, in the 80s and 90s, professional video camera they used for television, mostly outside broadcast. The tapes were that big.
Oh, the VHS tapes.
Not really.
Similar.
Yeah, like a VHS, but Betacam.
I also think, like, to understand how digital cameras works, it makes sense to understand how a film camera works,
Yeah,
right? So
100%.
if you know how film works and how it exposes film, that is a sensor. It's the same idea. So I'm not against, you know, the new tech and the cool stuff and the toys, but understanding why things work the way they work helps you in a professional environment or an artistic one to like push the boundaries, right? Because you got to know the rules to break the rules at the end of the day. So again, like from a cinematography point of view, understanding how film spools through a projector and whatnot.
Frames.
Exactly. Teaches you a lot about editing, and also on set, you know, so film's expensive. And if you made a mistake then and you had to recut and restart and all that, you are costing money. So you try not to do that. So when we're on set now and everyone goes stop, start, and this and retake, from a cinematographer's point of view, we go, well, you know, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever, this wouldn't have been acceptable on a film set. And I love how intentional that is. Photography,
Very much.
video.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Intentional.
It's intentional. And lighting. If you don't know how to light a scene in film,
Yeah. DOP. That's
Yeah,
why
exactly,
DOPs
yeah.
are the top paid
yes,
people on set.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look at that smile.
And then you
It
hear-
says it all.
And then you hear hair in the gate.
Yes,
Do you know
exactly.
do you know
Yes,
what
yes,
that
yes,
means?
yes.
I
Hair
think
in the gate.
Once told me about it.
Okay.
Once these heavy.
When the film camera rolls and the film is going through, if there's a hair in the way of that unexposed film, and then you're viewing it later, you're always going to have that hair
Yes.
on every single
shot.
frame. And you can't really
No, you can't do anything about it, yeah. Well, nowadays you can.
Now
You can,
Now you can.
luckily,
but still.
I still believe and feel that as much as you could do a bit of color correction and whatnot on film, but if you edit it too much, it loses its touch and feel, and it becomes like a weird digital image in some sort of sense.
like too perfect.
Yeah, like it's too perfect. But when it's like just raw and you do like a little bit minor color correction, it comes out so beautiful. I don't know if you guys.
No, I agree. I
believe-
think what stands out for me on film photography, especially, is the highlights, right? So the highlights have that beautiful, soft, hazy kind of beam on it. Yeah, I mean, what I wanted to add to that about this perfectness, I find photography so funny as well. Is we were talking earlier about the mundane, right? The things that you look at every day, and you'll maybe snap a photo on your film camera, especially actually on your film camera, and then you'll forget about it, and you'll think, oh, that was an insignificant pic, and then months later you develop your images. And then you look at the images and they have meaning to them.
Yeah.
And I say that about vlogging, I say that about photography, is capture everything, not necessarily over, but I mean like what you think is mundane today, 3 weeks from now, you're like, oh man, I don't have that shirt anymore, it looks great. Or like, I haven't seen this person in 6 months and, I've got this still.
I think it's a very psychological thing, because if I take a photo of something now and I view it now, it's all happening now,
Yes,
and
exactly.
it doesn't mature.
Yes.
Where if it's on here,
Yes.
and I feel this piece of
Yes.
equipment, and I don't know what's on there, but I think I
Yeah.
know, and I let it mature,
Yeah.
I get it back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
And then maybe,
marinade.
this one I didn't think is that good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And things that you don't know aren't going to be relevant. Like, let's say, for example, you snap this mug. 6 months from now, maybe they've changed their color scheme or whatever.
design.
And you have no idea what's going to be relevant and important 6 months from now. I love that about film.
I think also it's just that feeling to say like you can't see what you're doing right now, but you have that hope and excitement. Whatever's
Yes.
gonna come out is gonna be so beautiful.
Although, opposite to that, I'm not going to take away digital photography and mobile photography. I make a lot
For
of
professional
content.
shoots, you need that.
No, look, on digital, yes, but I'm talking for my personal stuff. I vlog on my phone. I do phone photography as well. Not obviously for anything
You win
professional.
competitions now and then. Yeah.
Casually. It actually was the biggest ego boost for me, guys, because I was like, I'm coming in here and I'm not telling anyone that I'm in the industry, because if I don't win, I'm going to be like the most embarrassed person ever. So very humbled and grateful and whatever. But I mean, to talk about this one, I have taken stills on this. I love a wide lens. So as much as I'm like, yes, film and hipster and this guy, for stills, everyone goes, I must now jet ski and bungee jump, and no.
It's because they're part of the collective,
Yes.
and they want to do what everyone else is doing.
Yes.
And then you lose your art.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a tool, right? This is a tool. So like, I know all the promo videos and the things are mountain biking and this and that. And obviously I'm going to use this for motorcycling. But people think like the cool motorcycling stuff is me doing a jump over a dirt donga or whatever. Do you know what my favorite footage is that I've gotten from this? How people laugh at themselves, talk to themselves, whatever, when they're putting the helmet on and off. Some of the best footage I've gotten. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly that mundane stuff that we're talking about. Or stills. Please, I shoot fashion content on this. Like, people are like, oh cool, what if you use it for? I'm like, fashion content.
And I
Really
mentioned,
shocked when
Yeah,
you mentioned
literally,
that.
like an action camera. I'm like, yes, babe, it's light, it's easy. I don't want to set up my whole thing and expose and...
that's where the hand grip will come in handy for you.
I've heard this hand grip,
That
yes.
hand grip on that little unit
Yeah.
just changes it into a camera like this.
Can I tell you guys a funny story on this?
Yes.
May I?
Please.
So when I won this, well, actually before I went on the Moto Foto day, I said to my friends, oh, and by the way, it's one of the Insta360 cameras. And I said to them, if we win this camera, do you know what the first thing is I want to do? I haven't done it yet, but is I want us to have a competition of all of us jumping into the pool and who can do like the weirdest, coolest, like,
Jump.
jump or biggest splash or whatever. And they were like, that is really weird. We're so down. Like, we'll be there. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, please have fun with your tools.
Enjoy it.
Please have fun. When I bought my Sony, it was like the most expensive piece of equipment ever, and I was like, this camera, and I'm not going to touch it, and I'm never going to take it outside. No, you're using your tools wrong. Please use your tools, use your cameras. They're made to be outside. They're made to be packed in a bag. They're made to go on holidays with you. They're tools at the end of the day. And like, I'm as holy as anyone else, and I've got my hard case, and I've got my, but these things are built for us to have fun and like live life. That is the authentic experience. Don't go out trying to go, I'm going to shoot this thing because this guy got this shot, or I'm going to, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, how did we get on this topic again?
We'll start
Using using it as a tool and not being scared to use it because it's there for that reason.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what film camera do you use?
Oh, it's a Canon. I'm not sure what brand of Canon it was. I've actually got gifted it by a good friend of mine who got me into motorcycles and photography, funny enough. So it's like this is 10 years ago kind of a thing, 15 years ago, whatever. And it's so weird to see the journey that it's come here, that I'm now sitting on the podcast because I want a Moto Foto thing, but you know, someone handed me that baton and I'd love to do the same. So yeah, Canon, to answer your question.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
brilliant.
not like a full frame, nothing special.
Just a normal one.
Love it, gorgeous, one of my favorite cameras. I'm not scared to take it out. I'm not scared it's going to get hurt. You know.
You shoot a lot of film?
I shoot a lot of film when I know I'm traveling or going on holiday or something. So for example, we've got a family wedding coming up and I'm definitely going to have my film camera there for that, or a holiday. Yes, please do.
Yes,
And
actually, I'd love to shoot a
enjoy
wedding,
weddings.
guys.
Enjoy shooting.
I really want to experience shooting a wedding. Like, just one wedding.
But as a
Not
pro,
done on
film.
for fun.
No. Either way, both.
He'll be your backup.
No, so this is my whole thing, right? One of my biggest rules is, under friends and family, do not ask me to shoot your wedding. I can either be a vendor, but then I'm invoicing you, or I can be a wedding guest. You know what I'm saying? Because it happens often. People will go, hi, blah, 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 but do you mind just bringing your camera? You know, or do you mind just, no, babes, I do mind.
look
I
like
do
that,
mind a lot. But that's not to say I'm not, like, from my own capacity that I won't be shooting and whatever, that's totally fine. But I'm just saying, guys, respect your photo video person, okay?
Yeah.
You know, we also
have boundaries.
yeah, it is
Know
a boundary thing. It is a boundary thing because it's not just as easy as like, oh, but you're a photographer. Could quickly come do this on my phone, or you know, there's lighting that goes into it. It's composition. I have batteries. I have a gimbal. Like, I'm not bringing my gear, so now I'm going to shoot this thing, and then it's not up to standard.
Yeah,
You're telling people, oh, Morgan shot this, and it looks bad. And
It's getting back to that word intentional.
Yeah.
If you're on a professional job, you're intentionally there for a product
Yes.
at the end of the day.
Yes. And I'm not wearing a dress with heels, and I haven't had a glass of champagne, you know, and I don't have makeup on, and you know what I'm saying? So if I'm in cine mode, I'm in cine mode, but if I'm in wedding guest mode, don't give me a camera, perhaps. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, yeah, I shoot film for when I know something's coming up, because it's expensive, obviously. So it's expensive to buy the film, it's expensive to develop the film. Actually, it's not that bad, but I mean, it's rather intentional for me. So we went to Mexico a couple of years ago, shot Mexico on film.
Beautiful.
Stunning, gorgeous, lovely, no yellow filter like they show you on TV. It's actually one of the most beautiful places ever. I went to London last year, shot that on film. So yeah, that's
Awesome.
intentional again, yes.
How do you feel the industry is moving in terms of film and sales and availability?
Great question. Like I said earlier, film and photography went through a bit of a fad where it was like the hipster cool kids were getting into film, and such two minds about that, because on the one mind, you know, everyone wants to be unique and like, I don't want to do something because it's popular. I'm one of those people, you know, like I didn't get a BlackBerry when everyone got a BlackBerry, and but at the same time, if that's what gets you into it, great, happy to have more people doing the thing, happy to have more people joining the club. My personal opinion is, obviously we have a lot of AI coming out now, and I'm an Adobe girl. I've been stuck in that flippin' ecosystem for years, so I can't get out now.
There's some serious competition now.
There is a lot. Resolve, big time competition. From a photography point of view, I don't know what replaces Lightroom
I
and
think
the
there's
Photoshop
one
thing.
called Affinity.
Yes, that's correct. I've heard of Infinity as well.
Capture One? How's Capture One?
Haven't used it.
It's okay.
Haven't
It's
used it, no.
really.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm a Lightroom girl through and through, fully, like from the beginning till then. But anyways, my point is, so you're seeing these software companies move to AI first, and AI this and AI that, whatever. Firstly, it's not functional. The ads are very cute and pretty, which don't use AI, by the way. They use motion artists. But anyway, so then you get into the software, you try the thing, and then you're trying to remove a bird in the background, and like a baby face pops up. You know, I don't know if you guys have seen those kinds of things. But anyway, my point is, I think there's place for AI as a tool. It's not a front-end deliverable client-facing thing. It's a back-end part of your workflow tool, you know, removing distractions and stuff. But my personal prediction is, I think we're going back to traditional media. I think you guys are going to see a big return to that. I think people are going to go back to photo books and big prints and maybe physical media and things like that. I think the AI digital revolution has got people wanting that authenticity and imperfection, and like skew teeth and cellulite and no makeup and, you know, whatever. So I think that's where we're going. And I think if that's what gets you into film, because it's a cool thing to do, you know, like for example, now on social media, there's this big trend of these little digital cameras, you know, those point and shoot.
Yes, the old digi stuff.
So here for it.
Yeah.
If that's what gets you into video and editing or photography, do that. You don't, my opinion is the best camera to have is the one you have with you.
Yeah.
So you don't need to have a 50,000 Rand camera. You don't need to have if you've got a little point and shoot, if you've only got this little action camera and that's what you're using for stills or that's what you're using for family stuff, which you should, great. You're making things. That's the important part.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the how, it's the what, it's the
Very
create.
true. The main imaging making tool is this here.
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but when I create an image, I first see it. Then I reach for whatever camera's there.
Yes.
People sometimes don't get it. Like they look through the viewfinder.
Viewfinder to find
Trying to
something,
find
and it
something.
doesn't really work.
I'm also obsessed with like lighting to me. You know, when you trained in photography and stills and video, you guys will know if the light's coming in at a certain angle, I am like, whoa, that's stunning. And if you have your phone on you and you're capturing it on your phone, that's not incorrect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm also obsessed. Like if I'm watching TV and I see, you know, those pink clouds coming over Joburg, I'm like running outside and snapping pics and doing the thing.
Yeah.
So you learn to look for that, I think, as well.
Yeah. You create the image first, and then you make it real.
I see that with people's faces as well. Actually, I want to have little cards printed that say, sorry, I know this is really weird, but your face would look great on photo. Because some people have
Some
Actually,
photography
do have faces, yes.
right?
Like very beautiful faces that you wouldn't see on a day-to-day.
Yes. And it's not pretty per se, it's photography.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would look great hanging on someone's wall or, you know.
You'd look great drinking that Coke on a sunny day.
Yes, exactly that. So I want to have little cards made that are like, please contact me. I know this is really weird, but
I also want some cards. I'm going to make the same.
yes, please do it. Everyone should do it.
Speaking of hanging on the wall, are you going to hang your print on the wall? Because it's quite a
Absolutely.
big one, that
Yeah.
they printed here.
I should go get them. I'll come show you guys. But
What is
yeah,
it,
massive.
A1?
I think it's an A0.
A0,
To be honest
huge.
with you.
Huge.
They went massive. I walked in here and it was hanging, and I was like, for little old me. You know, cute, cool.
No, it's impressive to see it printed as well.
It's amazing. And the print quality that we got from here, I
Stunning
didn't know that. So now I know that. My Christmas presents are sorted for everyone. I'm getting things printed. The image that won, I actually want to go back to the restaurant and gift it to them. Was actually the
That
intention
is
that I
so
had, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I want to have it framed and then go gift it to the restaurant at the end of the day. If they're interested in it, I'd be honored if they like hung it or whatever, but it feels like that's its home, that's its
That
place.
is brilliant.
You know?
I never even thought of that.
That is so smart.
Absolutely. I mean, it's in 44 Stanley, which is art, cinema, fashion central. So it's an honor for me. I didn't necessarily like pay to have it printed or so on and so forth. So like there's no commercial value, if that makes sense for me. And it's like, I got this awesome gift and got this awesome community from this photo, and I feel like it would make sense to give that back.
Well, let me know when you're going to do that. I want to come with you.
Amazing.
We'll both
Yeah, we
come.
definitely
That'd be so
go.
Yes.
cool. That'd be so great. Then 2 of them I'm keeping for myself that are going on my wall. I don't know why I haven't printed my own photos sooner, because like I said to you guys, if you haven't before, you see it printed out and you're like, this is so much better than a screensaver, you know? And then 2 others, some of the other writers have actually asked for, which I'm, again, it's blushing.
Yeah,
you
I've
know?
actually got one I need to give to one of the other writers.
Yes,
I mean, we
exactly.
did so many nice images
Yeah,
on the day.
portraits,
Everyone did.
stunning portraits and bike portraits as well.
Bike portraits,
yeah,
yeah.
stun, gorgeous. There were some gorgeous bikes on the day, and it was cool. Like some people had saddlebags, and some people had cool lights, and some people. So just, I mean, from that Moto Foto, we're sitting here and chatting, and like we're all besties now, you know. So it's
And we're planning for the next one.
yes, yes. I'd love to be a judge, a guest judge, or even just, you know, giving my 2 cents.
You're definitely going to be a judge. And maybe one of the leaders in the ride.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about leaders on the ride.
I know what you can do. You can film the ride with your Insta.
That would be amazing. I'd love to edit an Instagram reel. I actually did edit a reel for the day. I'll send you guys the link to that. And yeah, good feedback from it. Other people, like riders DMing me, and now we're following each other. We've obviously got that DCE event that we want to get started here. And it's just the snowball effect.
Tell us about that event, because Bob will be there. I know which bike we'll put him on.
So this is a funny story. It's actually how I got into motorcycle riding. A friend and I were sitting at a pub once, and he was a graphic designer. I'm obviously a videographer. and he needed a video shot because they were doing this motorcycle event, and I needed a logo design for my business those days back. So we made a bet and we said whoever downs this beer the quickest gets to do the other one the favor for free. So, I don't drink beer as fast as this man does, obviously. So I lost the bet and I thought, damn, like now I have to go on this motorcycle. I know nothing about motorcycles. I'm an artsy girl, and he was like, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
I was like, oh, great, this is fantastic. I was fresh out of university then. And I went on this thing, it's called the Dirt Cheap Enduro, and please check it out. I did 3 documentaries on it.
Dirt Cheap Enduro.
The Dirt Cheap Enduro. You buy a motorcycle for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You build it up for a certain amount. There's all sorts of parameters, and then we take this outright. And the gag of the whole thing is to see if your motorcycle is actually going to make it till the end. Like people do all sorts of wild things about it. And I ended up going on this thing, shot the whole thing, edited a documentary about it. It was supposed to be like a 10-minute highlight thing, turned into like an hour documentary. That then screened at one of our local motorcycle like cafe things down in Cape Town. And then from that, 2 other documentaries were born. Then to say thank you for filming and editing the docu, they built me a bike.
That's so nice.
They built me a bike.
You see what I've realized about talking to you now, you give back.
Because you
give
make
back to the
art.
community.
Because you're making art. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking, you got to give back. Because again, from losing a bet, I started the DCE and documentary filmmaking, which brought me to the Moto Foto, which won me a sweet prize, and now like a whole other community. You know what I'm saying? It's that scratch. Like, the more you scratch and find, the more it opens itself to you. And that's photography and bike stuff. So now I have a DT125 Yamaha sitting in my garage.
Awesome bikes.
And it's the one that they built for me. And they actually took like a little soldering iron, and each person who built the bike from frame up, sourced the carb, sourced the engine, branded their names into my front fender, yeah.
That's so nice.
And like, I mean, how cool is that? The energy that comes with it, that bike has just never died. You've got this thing now, and I think I appreciate you saying that because I get emotional about it. And
Please don't cry.
No, but I mean in a good way. I mean, I get emotional about the community. I get emotional about the art. I love that you guys are so interested in it and talking about it. I love that you guys are passionate about it because I can.
But your emotions translate through into your work. That's if you don't have that, you can't create really.
Exactly. I think that's the difference: is find the story, find the joke at the end of the day. Go check it out. I'll send you guys the links. There's 3 documentaries now.
We need to. This is.
I think I'm going to watch it tonight.
I promise you, if you watch that docu and you do not laugh within the first 10 minutes, I will give you a refund. I know you didn't buy tickets, but it's because I know I'm not going to have to give you a refund.
I'm going to definitely watch. Well, Morgan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. It's
Awesome having you here, and well done again on the win. Because there were actually a lot of brilliant photos there.
so good.
Very, very good.
Came the day and everything hung up. I looked at the other guys. I was like, "Are you guys sure?"
Oh, you definitely deserved it.
Thanks.
And let's discuss the next one.
Yes.
And hope you create some beautiful stuff with your Insta360.
Very excited. December's coming up now, so like this could not be more
Definitely gonna work
perfect.
full time.
Apropos, is that the word? Is that the? It's lovely and perfect and get December boss. So yeah.
And you said the best camera is the one with you, so
Yes.
just keep it with you.
And it's pocket sized.
I love it.
That's the best part
Perfect
about it.
size.
Also.
Girl pockets. Yeah. I think it'll fit. Do I have
Bill
pockets?
pockets. Guys, thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you in the next one.